Hey guys, it's Bruce here again. And in this lesson, we're going to be learning about if statements. So if something is true, then we take an action. And if it's not true, then we do the opposite action. And then we end the condition.
Okay.
So there's a few cards that we are using here is obviously the if statement. Then we've got a then and else and an end if. So what's the easiest way to understand this is that when you see the little brackets on these cards, right? So if we have a look here, so you'll see the small brackets. Now, these small brackets, whether you're using the repeating cards or the if statements or any of the other cards, when you see these small brackets, what goes in between these brackets is always the condition. So the condition being is 5 greater than 9 or whatever you want to put into that condition. You cannot put a movement card inside of between here. It doesn't make sense to have a movement card as a condition. You can't say 5 is greater than 9, forward is greater than 9. That doesn't logically make any sense. So it's always a condition. What could that condition be? It could be to say that is the tile number, whatever KaiBot reads as a tile number, is that greater than 9? Or is the tile number equal to another variable? So you have a variable or a number card, and then it is a condition. Is it greater to, equal to, not equal to, and then to another variable card or another number card. So hopefully you get the concept that the condition is always sitting in between these two little brackets. Once you get that understanding that the condition is always inside the little brackets, that's going to make your life learning what an if statement is much easier. Okay, then we get the curly guys. So the big curly brackets are then used for the actual program. So inside these big brackets, we're going to put our forwards, we're going to put our color changing movements, all the other fun stuff that goes into the curly brackets. So the curly brackets are always the fun brackets. The little brackets are always the serious conditional bracket. So hopefully that kind of makes your fun, makes the understanding of what an if statement, how it performs, make it easier. Don't you love the little braille we have here for blind students and hard of sight students? Okay, so let's do this if statement. So we're going to start with an if, obviously. We're going to say, in the little brackets, we're going to say, is 5 greater than 9? Well, we should know the answer of that. And then we're going to say, close the little brackets. Now, what's really cool is if you use KaiBot to scan the cards, and let's say I put the wrong bracket there. Let's say I just go end if. KaiBot is going to help you debug. So it's missing the if condition. It tells you the condition is missing. So it's helping those students understand the coding concepts without even getting onto a computer. Okay, so we've got a bug there, so we need to fix that. So let's put that there. Then if the condition is true, we get the large curly brackets. So what are we going to do there? So let's say if that condition is true, then I'm going to turn left. If it's not true, so we've got this, do this then if it's true, but if it's not true, we use this guy. And this is the else card. It is optional. You don't have to use a else card in it, but it also helps you deciding if something is true or false. So then we can say, well, if it's true, then do this. If it's false, then turn right, for instance. And then we're going to end the program. We're going to end the program. And if anybody knows me, I love laying out these cards in this manner so that it translates perfectly into Python text coding. If you can do this, then you could actually start learning Python or JavaScript or any coding language, because you're getting those fundamental strategies into your code. Isn't coding just like literacy, where you've got to have everything in the right order? Your commas and everything has got to be in the right order. Okay, so let's just program this and let's see what happens to the robot. So if 5 is greater than 9, then turn left, else turn right, end if, end the program, run the program, and grab a quick tile and place it on the screen for you so you can see the screen of the robot. So it turns right. Whoops. So it turns right. And that's because of that condition was false. So is 5 greater than 9? No, it's not. Then it's not true. Then it's false. So that comes and does the else statement. I wish they called it if something, then, true, else, false. I wish the cards were renamed slightly, but that's how it is, and that's what we got to deal with when we're dealing with text-based coding. So what else? I like the else. What else could we do? Well, we could actually replace a variable inside of this. So take that number 5 away. So is the tile number greater than 9? And this is where variables are a lot of fun, because a variable is basically like a box and it contains something. So if I grab this tile 10, for instance, and I put KaiBot on it, you can see at the top left-hand corner, there's number 10. So KaiBot can scan the tiles. So if I program this again, so let's program KaiBot. If tile number is greater than 9, then turn left, else if it's not, turn right, end if, end program, and run. And if we watch KaiBot here, we know we're on tile 10. Well, which way is it going to turn? It's going to turn left. Okay, why did it turn left? Because it's on tile 10. It read that number 10 here. So is 10 greater than 9? Yes, it is. So then it turned left. So if we just run the program again, all we need to do to run the program is tap run. And if we put it on tile 9 now, you see the top of the screen, it turned right. Okay, so why did it turn right? Well, if tile 9 is greater than 9, well, 9 is not greater than 9, so then it turned right, and end if. So I hope that explanation of using an if statement and a little bit of variable mixed in with some conditionals helped you grasp the concept of coding an if statement.